What is up, metalheads? Today I am going to do this special video of showing some awesome loot that I have received or purchased while I was at Adepticon. So that way, usually we do the pictures and stuff, but there's some things here that I feel warrant some kind of description, and also so that way you guys can find out where I got them from. So let's begin. First, starting with these two heads, and I know it probably looks weird. You're like, why do you have these two black heads, right? These are from Ben Comets. He used these in his classes about understanding how to paint faces. The purpose for these is because when you are painting a face, one of the things that people struggle with is where to put the shading, the proper shading and highlighting. So when you take a photo of these and refer it to, with a model that you're painting and such, then you can see where you should put the shadows and the highlights and where they would realistically place. So for example, if you got a model and the face is looking over to the side, then you can take a photo and be like, okay, well, the highlighting would be here and the shadows would be here and blah blah blah. Now the difference between these two is this one is like an actual smooth model's face. You would use this especially with female faces and such, because they have smoother gradients between shadow and highlight. Okay, and then this one, it might be hard to see on here, but there's some geometric shapes in this. There's some triangles, there's some straight lines and such, and this would be more catered to things like, say you're painting a sergeant for GW, like for a sergeant for Space Marine or veteran captain. Some of them don't have the helmets on, right? And you notice the sculpts on them, the faces, especially male faces in general, are just more squared and such. So this would help with something like that. Or if you're doing something like cell shading, kind of like comic shading and stuff, it would help with something like that too. You can get these from Ben Comet's website. I'll be sure to put the link for you down below. I believe they're 12 euros. So let me put that aside. Okay. The next thing also that you can get from Ben Comets, the reason why I'm including this is because I was given, Matt Sexwish was sweet to give me a couple of samples of the black pages of this, so that way I can try them out. This is called a dilution helper. One of the things that people struggle with is how much to thin down a paint. And this has been great for my more intermediate to advanced classes. Okay, so the difference between these two is the white pages is for over white primer, and as you can see here, it shows a reference here, and what you do is you would put your paint color under here to match, and your objective is to try and match what's up above. So if you're doing a base coat, for example, you would try, over a white primer, you would try to match one of these, whether you're trying to do heavy, medium, or light. Okay, and then if you're doing a layer, you might want to go thinner, and then a glaze is even thinner than that, and this is so you match up at the top, and that's how you know if you got it right or not. And there's multiple pages of it. It's pretty much the same. You got reds. You got this for like your blues and greens, okay? And that's basically what that. Now the black is for over black primer. So in general, if you've ever wondered what the difference in colors are over white or black primer, here you go right there. So here's reds just like on the white, and you notice how over black primer the palette changes, completely changes. It's a lot darker, you see, and now the white it's different. So that's the difference between those. So yeah, and I use this for reference sometimes, and like I said, I use this to show people in the more intermediate and advanced classes how to dilute their paint. It's very helpful, and you can get this from the website also, and I'll be sure to put the link down below for that for you. Let's see, what else? I had to pick up some more pigment powder from my peeps over at Secret Weapon. Got the metallic iron. It's got some metal flake in it, so it's great to use for, like if, say, you're doing a gun or, a bolter or something at the end, in case if you want to not use paint and you want to use pigment powder instead, you can actually use it for something like that, to paint certain metals and stuff, and it comes out really good. Faded green, It's a fun color. You can do it over metals. You can do it for, you know, mix it with dirt to give it more depth, or just, you know, put some green in general. Moss, you know, the look of lighter colored moss, stuff like that. Patina blue, just love this color in general. I think it's awesome. The actual color of patina, like over bronze and stuff, you can mix these two colors together for that too, because it's kind of like a blue-green anyway. But just in general, this blue, this patina blue is great for, like, you can do on different metals and stuff. We're now a Secret Weapon affiliate, and so I will be sure to put my affiliation link for you down below as well. And basically, all the proceeds that we make from it, it's a small percentage, but any proceeds we make for that, we plan on using to get some prize support for giveaways for you guys. So I'll make sure to put that down below for you. Gift from a friend, and Collapse Industries. The owner, Kurt Kirkland, comes out with these awesome resin kits, flat, you know, relief flats and such. I'll be sure to put the link down below for this for you as well. This is basically his company logo that was cast, and that was given to me by my friend Sinjin. But I love Collapse Industries either way. It's collapseindustries.com. So I'll be sure to put the link for that down below for you as well, so you can check out their model kits, which are awesome. Of course, I went to the Steamforge booth, and I squished this. This is my fault here. I have Mortician's Guild. That's my main Guild Ball team, and basically any single Mortician's Guild figure that comes out, I get. This one here is Master of Spooks. So if you are familiar with Morticians, this is basically an upgraded version of Obulus. And he has a jack-o'-lantern head. This was a Halloween edition figure. And I am a huge fan of Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, and anything Halloween related, and that's pretty much one of the reasons why I have chosen Morticians as my team. This was a limited figure, so it was about 30 bucks. But yeah, now I have an upgraded version of Obulus. What can I say? So let me put that aside. Make sure to put the link for that for you for Steamforge Games down below. I'm going to throw that down. And let's see, what else did I get? Ooh! Redbox Games. If you are familiar with sculptor Trey Manor, you know that he comes out with some awesome sculpts all the time. You might know him for some of his orcs that he did for Reaper miniatures and such, or you might have partook in some Kickstarters that he did for Redbox Games also, which has some Vikings and Valkyries and all kinds of really good stuff. This is a monster, kind of like, I don't want to say Eye of the Beholder. It's like sort of similar to that because there's like eyes all over the place. But this is like an eye monster that I can't wait to paint. So I'll probably stream painting this figure at some point. We've been working on commission stuff and getting that stuff, so a lot of that stuff out the door. But in between, maybe I'll work on something for this. I have a lot of plans for this one. Some really bright colors, really crazy looking eyes and stuff like that. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'll make sure to have the link for you down below for Redbox Games, because Trey Manor is awesome and we love him. Slow Fuse Gaming. I picked up some of their brushes. I like trying out new brushes, especially because sometimes, especially after what happened last time with the Winsor Newton Series 7, with having a hard time finding some good Kolinsky, it doesn't hurt to try other brands so that way we don't run into a problem. Now, I won't run out of brushes for quite some time, because as soon as the problem first happened with the Kolinsky Sable, I basically cleaned out a couple of hobby stores of all of their Series 7 brushes. But even so, I wanted to try out some new brushes. So one of the things I picked out was Slow Fuse Gaming. Slow Fuse Gaming is run by Jason Craze and his girl Jen. They're really awesome people. They have a Twitch channel also. It's Slow Fuse Gaming if you want to check them out. Good people. This is their Kolinsky brushes. These are the long wicks. Now the difference is because they have bomb wicks that are shorter, and these are the long wick Kolinsky Sables. And the reason why I picked these out over the regular bomb wicks was because they're more similar to the Series 7 brushes, and they have the longer bristles, so that's why I picked them. The price for this set, I believe, if I remember right, was about $37.50, if I remember right. I might be a little off on the pricing, but either way, I'll have the link for you down below. And it comes with 5 brushes in the set. You got a few different sizes. You got a 3, a 1, a 2, a 0, and a 00 or a double aught, you know, whichever way you prefer to call it. Like this would be good for, like, you know, painting small eyes, doing some freehand stuff like that, unless you're comfortable using a larger brush. And then I like using 1s, 2s, and 3s anyway. I use 2 quite a bit. So yeah, I'll be using those soon, and I'll, you know, show you guys when I get to that point when I use these. And it's also good, they put an important thing before using along, be sure to wash them, remove the shaping starch. Yeah, that's important. Every time you get a brush, you should do that anyway. I don't know if any of you know that, but that's how the brushes are shaped. They use starch. That's pretty much any company, that's how they do it. And then you want to make sure to clean them, that way you don't get, otherwise you can ruin your bristles beforehand. But yeah, that's Slow Fuse Gaming. Another thing I picked up from Slow Fuse Gaming that I want to show you is they have a special formula white paint. And the reason why they have a special formula white paint is because one of the biggest complaints that people have about white paint is that it always comes out chalky. And so when you're sitting there and you're using it, either mixing it with a color, sometimes that chalkiness might not happen so much. Sometimes it does, depending on the brand. It depends on a lot of different factors. But if you're using just the white itself, sometimes there's this chalkiness that happens, and it can kind of ruin the whole paint job, especially if you're trying to use it for competition. So supposedly their special formula, it's a smoother mix of paint. The consistency is smoother, and supposedly it does not have that chalky finish when you use it. And I haven't tried it yet. I just got it. Jason was sweet. He drew a heart and SFG on there. That's pretty much what they do on all of them when you purchase it. But yeah, I will be sure to let you guys know what I think when I try it out. But I trust Jason, so I'm very sure he you know, made a good formula. Broken Toad. I broke down and got the set finally. I've heard nothing but good things about these Broken Toad miniature brushes, so I picked them up while I was at Adepticon. There's a set of 4, and the set is $35. And in here you have a 2, you have a 1, a 0, and I believe this is a 00. Well, I guess I might as well open it. We're here, right? It opens from the bottom. I just want to make sure I give you guys the right info on the size. Okay, yeah, so 3/0, or triple aught, as some people might call it. Very fine detail, even finer detail than the you know, smaller than the 00 that I showed you before. But yeah, 2, 1, 0, and triple aught. And that's what comes in that one. And they give you some important care for your brush as well, some little tips and tricks. But yeah, definitely looking forward to using these. Heard nothing but good things about these. I'll be sure to put the link below for you. Thought maybe the price was on the back, but I was wrong. That's okay. And, haha, of course, I also got the Badger Metalsmith paints. Cannot wait to use these. Let's see what it says here. Complete Metalsmith kit. It has 2 metal look, 1 each, gold ore, bronze copper ore, carbon iron, blue ore, red, 2 mixing bottles, and 3 mixing pipettes. Yeah, the 3 pipettes are at the top there. But they have these different colors of metal. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so definitely look for the video where I'm going to definitely demo these out for you and show you these. These can be used for either the airbrush, or you can paint by hand with a regular brush. A lot of people ask me about this, that just because it comes from an airbrush company doesn't mean it can only be used with an airbrush, and that is actually not the case at all. You can use them by hand if you want to, and they have some information here about it in there as well, but I don't want to open them just yet until I'm ready to go through them. I also have plans on painting a figure with this, to show you guys how it looks. There's this one gold. There's a gold in here that's a perfect color for this, so be sure to look for that. I plan on painting this Custode guy with that paint. It's Captain General, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, Trajan Valoris. Maybe I said his name right, maybe I didn't. But they have a gold in here that's perfect for the color for this armor. I got a good deal on this figure and I couldn't pass it up, and it just looks like a really fun paint, so I'm really looking forward to painting this at some point. So definitely look for that. But yes, Badger Metalsmith paints. Cannot wait to use these and show them off to you. Okay, now for the parade. Oh, before I forget, also, when you get Badger, we have a discount code, a permanent discount code. I'll put it below in the description for you, obviously, but if you use code Metalhead Minis, all one word and all caps, you get an extra 5% off on Badger products at USAairbrushsupply.com, just so you know. So that way you guys can save money. All right, now for the parade of of Blackheart models, because I got a bunch of them while I was there. They came out with, they did some of their bigger scale kits, and then they put them to smaller sizes. So one of the ones here, we got Nosferatu, sculpted by Tim Bruckner. So I got that. Now I have a purpose for one of my other storage cases that I just bought too. Put all these in there. Alien Mutant figure. Kind of looks like one of those 1950s aliens. Look at this guy. Kind of looks like a mix between like The Fly and an alien from Mars Attacks, and I don't even know. It's just, yeah. The hands are behind here, by the way. He's got like these crab-looking hands. That's definitely going to be interesting and fun to paint, right? Let's see, what else? What else? The Werewolf figure. Those of you who know me know I love wolves, and it's Halloween related, so I'm definitely going to have fun painting that. So there's the Werewolf. I'll see how many of these I can get painted by the time of the Tulsa Figure Show, which I plan to go to that, so. Alright, a lot of people were super excited about these during Adepticon. So Blackheart came out with the females, the horror show females, and so here is Morticia Addams. Well, I wouldn't even say they're horror because they were just old, you know, those old Universal Monster shows, right? So here's Morticia, so you can see her better. Look at that. The face is very well done, and these busts are only 20 bucks a piece. So seriously, you can't go wrong with $20 for something like this, and you get a whole plinth and everything. Like, you don't even have to. There's a mold line here in the back, but other than that, there's not really much prep involved with these models in general. So they're very well cast. And George is very good about making sure that he comes out with good quality stuff. So put her down. Let's see, who's next? Who's next? Lily Munster. That's one of the other new horror females. I'll show you Lily because I know a lot of you are excited about her. I got it. Keep your pants on. Here's Lily. That's pretty well done. Like, and especially if you paint the face well, you can definitely get it to look like her. No question about that. One idea that a couple that I forgot who told me about it, to be honest, but I know one person who purchased these is planning on doing them monochrome in black and white, like when they were black and white in the show, which I think is a super cool idea. I can't wait to see how those come out. And also, I think Morticia, Scott Ferguson, Ryglor Painting, well, actually he's known as Brush Wizard, sorry. You might want to follow him because he's going to plan to live stream, I believe, painting Morticia, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll definitely have to check that out. We got Vampira. I know this face was very well done. Look at that. Look at those eyebrows. She got that strong arch in those eyebrows, man. And I know the hair on a lot of them look pretty similar, but back in the day, that was just kind of how they rolled anyway, right? Again, this one has a mold line in the back, but other than that, it's very well cast. I mean, these models take almost nothing to prep, and that's the truth right there. I never honestly had any huge problems prepping these models at all. Who's next? Who's next? Micromania. London After Midnight Vampire figure. Oh, boy. See that? It's the crazy guy. And he's got his hands right there. The hands look like they're definitely going to require a lot of prep, but those hands are pretty, you know, they're very small pieces, so it's kind of to be expected. But it doesn't look like it would take much, just like maybe an X-Acto knife, a little bit of filing, very gentle filing because of the material, the resin that they're made from. So definitely something to look at. Let's see, what else? What else? Who's next? It just says figure, but I can tell you, this is Frankenstein. This is definitely going to be fun to paint also. It's a Universal Monster version of Frankenstein from their larger scale models. Just gotta, you know, prep the chin, because it's got this extended piece, must have been from when it was cast. And there's some mold line in the front leg and on the boot. And there would be some filing required on the base there, but other than that, it's not bad. Here's the hands. The hands are made of metal. You can drill and pin those into the figure, so that way it stays. You're going to want to do that anyway, because this is, once you file this little piece off, it'll be just a flat surface. And you can glue it straight on, and I'm not saying it won't stay, but if you want to ensure that it'll last longer, you're definitely going to want to drill and pin the hand to the arm. And I'm telling you, that'll be your best bet, and it'll make it more durable. So if God forbid you drop it, it'll be less likely to break, shatter, or anything like that. Also, could not resist getting this one, because I love my horror movies. We got Jason Voorhees. Now, the caster was experimenting using different color resin. This resin quality, in spite of the fact that it's pink, it is the same quality resin. And once you prime it and stuff like that, the pink that's underneath here, it's not going to affect your paint job or anything like that. You just got to prime it. But yeah, this is Jason Voorhees, very well sculpted. I am really looking forward to doing this one. Look, he's got part of his face rotted out. Oh, dude, I can't wait to paint this. But yeah, there are photos of this already painted that somebody else painted on the Blackheart Models website. Obviously, I'll have the link down below for you, but you can definitely check out in their gallery. They have some painted versions of these already, and there was a person that painted this one that did a super good job on it and did the weathering and stuff on the plinth, and it came out so good. So, but even so, I can't wait to paint it for you either. Some cards that I picked up, maybe you want to check out these people. Studio Dogby, I hope I said it right, .com. This guy draws comics and such. He's a really good artist. Illustration, story, and concept art. LegendarySisters.com. He's got a DeviantArt, dforest@deviantart.com. He's got a Facebook, comicer named D. Twitter, Dogby Sisters, I believe it says. And then he has a Tumblr, studio-dogby.tumblr.com. So if you want to check out his stuff. And this is Miss Emily Whitehouse. She is very into building Gundams like Gunpla. And she also writes blogs, and she is a miniature painter. And I've seen her at cons for quite a while, but she came out with a new card, and she gave me one, so I was pretty excited about that. But if you love Gundams and, you know, Gunpla in general, definitely follow her. Actually, if you're part of the group, the Hobby Hangout, I think she's a special guest that's actually going to do something about building Gunpla figures, so that should be pretty fun. So definitely follow her. Nice girl. And then I found out that there's a Midwest Gaming Convention, or another one, because there's so many of them, I don't know how I keep up. But there's a ClawCon. Eric Fontaine from Warlord Games told me about this one. Midwest Gaming Convention in St. Robert, Missouri. And basically, this one's in October, 6th to 7th of October. And so from what I understand, what they do is they take some of the money that they make from the con and they give it to animal shelters. So that's pretty cool, right? Especially if you love animals. So they have games that they have there, 40K, Kings of War. It's a regional qualifier. Oh, nice. Age of Sigmar, Bolt Action. I don't know why Sigmar is there twice, but Bolt Action, obviously. Test of Honor, MT, Magic the Gathering, Blood Bowl, X-Wing, War Machine, and Flames of War. So if you're in Missouri, now you got something to do in October, right? That's awesome. And then Sullivan Miniature Studio, Nikki and Scott, we love you guys. They came out with these really nice business cards. Be sure to follow Sullivan Miniature Studio. They're good painters, and they also are on Twitch. I believe on, let me see if she has it here on here. We stream on Watch Us Live. Yeah, see, that's their Twitch if you want to follow that. That's the wife, that's Nikki, that's her Twitch. And then her husband, Scott, that's his Twitch, if you want to check it out and watch them paint. So yeah, that's pretty cool, right? Those are cool people. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I got here for you. So be sure to check us out on the web, www.metalheadminis.com. Any questions, feel free to email us, mhmpropainting@gmail.com. And till next time, we will see you guys later.